and welcome to Center Circle. I am Jermaine Brown. 50 years ago, on Saturday, March 4, 1974, an election was held at the Harborview Primary School to elect officers for a new football club in the community. That's how the Harborview Football Club was officially formed. This year we celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Stars of the East. When the name Harborview comes up, one name that immediately comes to mind is Carvel Stewart. That's because many have associated him with everything that happens at the club. And the club's chairman isn't the one to shy away from what goes on in the East.
My name is first on the list. I'm hoping by this time Clyde's name gets to be more to higher up on the list, which is really intentional because you have to look towards continuing the business of Harborview Football Club. But yes, you are right. Oftentimes my name is first on the list, even though I try not to be first on the list.
When the club started in 1974, what part did you play at the time?
All right, I don't know if you know or you've been told. Football in Harborview started before 1974, and mainly we were participating in minor league competitions, okay? And so we had a tradition leading into 74. That tradition included people like Muggy Graham, Nigel Goodison, Owen Ital Stewart, Bertis Bell, people who are known for football in Jamaica from those times. Then we plodded along and we failed to win the minor league a couple of times, having gotten up to the highest level. And then in 1972 we prevailed. And we prevailed the year after. And so we got together and by then all of our youngsters were all over the place. They were in Santos mainly, some was in Raymona, Cavalier, and Boys Town, in fact. And so we got together and said, and by then, the Major League had been instituted in 1973. And we got the call in 73, hey, Harborview, we want you to join the Major League. And we accepted the invitation, except to say that we wanted to prepare ourselves for a year, and then we would enter in 1974. So that became the genesis of the actual formation of the club.
When the club started, and you said that the players were from the community, did it start as a family club? Because when you look at the names, you see the Bells, the Stewarts, the Jardines. Was it like that? Was it a family unit at the time?
It wasn't really, I wouldn't call it a family unit, but it was close. Everybody knew each other, everybody had been friends for a period of time, and so it was really simple to pull people together. In other words, we understood the personalities that we were dealing with, and it was easy. You had asked an earlier question about what I did. I became the first treasurer at that time, because prior to that and in the successful minor league years, I was assisting with some support financially and would raise some money.
Clyde Giudini is the general secretary at the club, but he started as a player long before they were formally registered.
We have stayed the course so far. Many trials, tribulations, struggles, but many successes. So mixed fortune, and I think everybody giving thanks that we're still here carrying on and looking to go forward in the future. Actually started about 1965, 66 in the community, the new community of Harborview. People had just moved into what was the new middle class strata. The Matalan, West Indies Home Construction, Matalans had built two housing schemes in the early 60s. Harborview in the eastern end and Mona Heights in the uptown area. Both of them same type houses, same sort of cadre, and families migrated eastward or northern to the parts of Kingston and St. Andrew. And
so 50 years on, based on where the club is now and what it has achieved, you'd say success?
Yeah, reasonable success. Success definitely in the sense that we are still here. Success in the sense that we as the youngsters at that age and the seniors who invested and created the club are still around to see and experience and work together with the same philosophy and kindred spirit. Success in those stages, success on and off the field in many different areas that you can look at and mark through the decades, the 6 decades, because as I said, there was another decade before it actually became Harborview Football Club, that we have seen some progress, but still a long way to go, and still we have the ambition and the fortitude to work towards it, so we're going to continue the path.
If there was anything though that you'd probably say could have been better, what would that?
Why? That's a wish list, Brian, that could go from the first thing first. When the community was built back then, there was no green area space allocated. There's no space for a field. There's no space for recreation. It wasn't part of the matrix at that time. So how the club actually started is there was a little triangular field called Aqua Park in the middle of the community, not as much as 50 yards long, and triangular, so it comes to a point that the then mobile book library used to drive around to each community and park there. So the kids were sent by the parents to go and sign up, get your books, learn to read, and the boys would go with the Hardy Boys and the girls would go with the Nancy Drew and the different things. And so just in that meeting space that it became for the youngsters in the community, playtime began. And so the boys, more aggressive at that stage, the girls were reading, the boys started playing football just in front. And so when the bus left, the football continued to play at Aqua Park.
And there's also Clyde's brother, Michael. He wasn't a footballer, but he started from the get-go as an assistant treasurer secretary.
When we started, I didn't know, I was never one to think so far into the future, but 50 years is a pretty long time, you know. I remember when I joined, I probably was about 18, 19, somewhere there. And well, we've seen a lot in the 50 years. I've seen a lot. The club has seen a lot in that time. Our family came to Harborview September 1960, so we were here very, very early. Roads unpaved, no fences, bus would stop at the roundabout. So it was just a time of tremendous growth. A lot of young people in the community and a lot of excitement. I mean, I can tell you, on my road, we had Veer Johns was living there. So all these names you probably don't even know. Veer Johns and Charles Hyatt, right? Both of them were living on Fort Eugene Drive, just down the road from our stadium here. So, I mean, it was a time when there was just an abundance of resources and youthfulness. So it was fairly easy in the early days.
Coach Ludlow Bernard is a youngster to all these men, but he's playing his part in growing the club.
Yeah, man, I made my entry in 1984 when Mr. Stewart came on the corners and asked me to be a part of what was then the minor league, you know. I've looked back since, and I must say that my association with the Harborview Football Club has been a very good journey. Lots of trophies, of course, to go with it, and lots of lessons to be learned in life through the football, you know. And it has been a good experience, experiencing at either end of the spectrum. I didn't really expect that when I got involved that I would be, you know, elevated to a position of being a coach, you know, being a non-footballer as at the time. Of course, once I got involved with the football, I kind of had a liking for coaching. And of course, you'd have noticed that over the years my coaching skills would have been honed right here, and I've been provided with the opportunity to express it both here and in other jurisdictions.
How has it changed your life though, being a part of this club?
Well, it has certainly changed the life in terms of, what would I say now? I mean, this wasn't all planned, you know. Football is not a profession, or not considered a profession, so to speak. So
In terms of changing lives, I've said that I must say that I'm responsible for changing a lot of lives, for sure. You know, so it not only changed me, but it helped me to change others.
When we return, we continue with how the club transformed Rocks to a stadium.